You're standing in the electronics aisle at Target, staring at rows of glossy boxes that promise crystal clear sound, studio bass, and all-day comfort. Each brand claims to be premium. Each display blares a pop song you barely recognize. But behind the sleek designs and celebrity endorsements hides a quiet truth. Most wireless headphones are built to fail fast and sell again. Plastic dressed as luxury. Specs exaggerated by marketing teams. And that deal you just added to your Amazon cart? It might already be dying inside the box. Today, we're ranking 9 headphone brands, from disasters to the ones actually worth your money. Number 9, the big box bargain that breaks too soon. You walk into Walmart on a Saturday afternoon. The smell of popcorn from the snack aisle mixes with the buzz of fluorescent lights. You spot a wall of ONN wireless headphones. Neat rows, bright colors, and a price tag that makes you pause. $29.99. It feels like a win. You think, it's Walmart's own brand, how bad could it be? That's the trap. ONN has quietly become Walmart's in-house budget tech line, built to appeal to bargain hunters and last-minute shoppers who want something that just works. But here's the truth. These headphones barely do. The sound quality? Hollow and tinny, like listening through a soda can. The Bluetooth connection? Drops if you even turn your head too fast. And the battery? You'll be lucky to make it through a full commute before it starts gasping for life. One reviewer summed it up perfectly. They worked fine for about 2 weeks. Then one side just stopped. No reason. No drop, no damage. Just silence. Another customer tried returning theirs after a month, only to find out the warranty process was so confusing that the $30 wasn't even worth fighting for. Here's what's really going on. ONN products are designed to meet a price point, not a quality standard. They're cheaply assembled using leftover parts from contract manufacturers overseas, the kind of factories that churn out earbuds for multiple generic labels with just a different logo on the box. They look modern, sure. But under the plastic shell, the cheapest drivers, the weakest Bluetooth chips, and zero sound insulation. Even their so-called noise canceling is just marketing fluff. There's no active circuitry doing anything at all. The result is predictable: weak sound, constant static, and batteries that fade within months. Verdict: avoid ONN at all costs. It's the perfect example of a budget deal that ends up costing you twice, once for buying it and again when you replace it a few weeks later. Starting from the bottom, that's ONN, the poster child of cheap regret. But moving up the list, things don't get much better. In fact, our next brand proves that looking stylish doesn't mean sounding good. Number 8, Skullcandy, the style over substance trap. You're at a mall in Los Angeles, maybe near a Zumiez or a Hot Topic. You spot the Skullcandy logo, that edgy skull design splashed across headphones in neon green, pink, and matte black. They look cool. The packaging screams youth and rebellion, and the price tag feels just right. Not too cheap, not too premium. It's easy to see why millions of Americans picked Skullcandy as their first wireless pair. They marketed themselves as the cool alternative to Beats, the headphones for skaters, gym-goers, and anyone who wanted style without breaking the bank. But peel back that glossy branding, and the truth hits hard. Skullcandy built its empire on looks, not longevity. Sound quality? Aggressively bass-heavy, drowning out vocals and mid-range clarity. They make every song sound like it's coming from the bottom of a swimming pool. Build quality? Mostly plastic. The kind that cracks after a couple of drops or one bad stretch in your backpack. And battery life? Inconsistent at best. You'll see 30 hours printed on the box, but in reality, most users get maybe half that before recharging. Let's talk real experiences. Tyler, a college student from Ohio, bought a pair of Skullcandy Crushers on sale. At first, he said, they felt amazing. Loud bass, comfy cushions, looked good on my desk. But after 3 months, the left side started cutting out. Then, one ear completely died. The warranty process was a nightmare. It took almost 6 weeks to get a replacement. Stories like Tyler's aren't rare. Skullcandy products often feel great out of the box, but that excitement fades fast when the hinges loosen, the Bluetooth glitches mid-song, or the ear cushions start peeling. And don't get fooled by those influencer collabs or limited editions. The core tech rarely changes. It's the same budget components, recycled inside a new shell with fresh colors. In short, Skullcandy sells lifestyle, not reliability. Verdict: skip this brand. If you care more about sound than style, you'll outgrow Skull Candy faster than their warranty can save you. And speaking of hype, let's move to a brand that's built entirely on it. A name pushed by influencers, hyped by celebrities, and loved by marketing departments everywhere, but not by your ears. Number 7. Raycon, the influencer illusion. Picture this. You're scrolling through YouTube or Instagram, and suddenly your favorite creator pauses mid-video. They smile, pull out a sleek pair of earbuds, and say, "These are my go-to, the Raycon Everyday Earbuds." You've heard this line a dozen times. Podcasts, gaming streams, tech channels, they all rave about Raycon. The price feels fair, the reviews sound convincing, and the celebrity faces, from Snoop Dogg to tech influencers, seal the deal. But here's what most people don't realize. Raycon's marketing is genius, but their hardware is average at best. The brand was founded on the idea of merging celebrity appeal with affordable audio. It worked, millions sold. But beneath that sleek design lies a product that struggles to live up to its own hype. Let's break it down. Sound quality, muddy mids, overblown bass, and harsh treble that turns certain songs into static soup. Microphone clarity, inconsistent. Fine indoors, but step outside or take a call while walking, and it sounds like you're speaking through a sock. Battery life? Advertised as 8 hours per charge, but users report barely hitting 5 before the low battery chime starts screaming in your ear. Now here's a story that sums it up. Marcus from Atlanta ordered his Raycons after hearing an influencer he trusted swear by them. At first, he said, they were okay, fit well, sounded fine. But within 3 months, one side went dead. The support email bounced twice before I got a generic response saying, try resetting them. After that, nothing. And that's the bigger issue. Raycon's post-purchase support is nearly non-existent. Once your earbuds fail, you're left with an expensive paperweight and a lesson learned. Yes, they look stylish. Yes, the packaging feels premium. But what's inside doesn't match the promise. They're designed to sell fast, not last long. So, while Raycon may dominate influencer ads, it's not dominating quality charts anytime soon. Verdict: avoid this brand at all costs. It's all hype, zero heart. Leaving behind the influencer bubble, we move toward a name that used to mean quality. A brand once trusted by professionals, partygoers, and gym rats alike. But somewhere along the line, it traded reliability for reputation. Number 6. JBL. Once great, now overpriced and overhyped. You know that one brand everyone just assumes is good because they've seen it everywhere? That's JBL. From college dorms to gym bags, their bright orange logo has been a part of American life for years. JBL speakers used to define portable sound. Loud, fun, and tough. But when it comes to their wireless headphones and earbuds, that old reputation doesn't hold up anymore. See, JBL has fallen into a dangerous zone, the comfort of popularity. They don't have to try as hard because they already look trustworthy. But here's the problem. Behind that familiar name are headphones that have quietly slipped into mediocrity. The sound? Overly processed. That signature JBL bass they brag about? It's bloated now. It overwhelms everything else. Voices sound muffled, instruments blur together, and after a while, it just feels tiring to listen to. The build quality? Average at best. Hinges crack, padding flattens, and those glossy plastic cups start showing scratches within weeks. And battery life? Well, let's just say it's not what's printed on the box. 50 hours becomes maybe 25 if you use active noise cancellation. And that's if your pair doesn't start disconnecting mid-song like mine did. Yeah, I'll admit it, I fell for JBL too. I bought the JBL Live 660 NCs during a Memorial Day sale at Costco. They looked great, and the reviews seemed solid. But within 2 months, I noticed weird popping sounds whenever I connected them to my laptop. By the 3rd month, one ear cup stopped working altogether. I remember my coworker joking, "Guess the Live in Live 660 means they only live for 60 days." And honestly, he wasn't wrong. When I tried to get a replacement, JBL's customer support sent me an automated email loop that went nowhere. It felt like dealing with a robot that didn't care. I just wasted $130. That's the heartbreaker with JBL. They used to care about quality. Now, they care about market share. Their new models rely more on brand memory than innovation, and it shows in every weak hinge and distorted bass note. Verdict: not worth a dime in 2025. Once great, now coasting on nostalgia. If you're paying for JBL, you're mostly paying for the name. And if JBL feels like a disappointment from a once respected brand, wait till you hear about the next one. A company that pretends to be the king of budget value but hides a long list of compromises right under the surface. Number 5. JLab, budget brand with hidden compromises. There's always that one friend who brags about finding the same thing cheaper. You know the type. They'll say, "Why spend $200 on earbuds when I got these JLabs for $49? And honestly, I used to be that friend. JLab markets itself as the champion of the everyday buyer. Bright packaging, fun colors, and that no BS tone that makes you think they're the honest underdog in a world full of overpriced giants. Their commercials talk about value without compromise. But here's the irony. Compromise is exactly what you get. On paper, JLab looks good, customizable EQ modes, solid Bluetooth range, and long battery claims. But when you actually use them day to day, the flaws start creeping in fast. The fit feels off, especially after an hour of use. The earbuds press awkwardly against your ear, making them painful for long listening. The connection drops randomly, sometimes mid-song, sometimes during a Zoom call when you least expect it. And the mic quality? Let's just say if you're using them for calls, people will keep asking, "Are you in a tunnel?" I learned the hard way. During my first job after college, I bought a pair of JLab Go Air earbuds. They were on sale at Best Buy for $30, and I was pumped. Wireless, compact, 8-hour battery life. They worked fine, at first, but by the second month, the left earbud stopped charging properly. I thought maybe I'd been too rough with them until a coworker, Ben, showed me his pair. Same issue. His wouldn't even connect unless he kept the case plugged in. It turned into a running joke in the office. How long till your JLab drops the connection this time? What stings the most is that JLab almost gets it right. You can tell they want to compete, but instead of improving core quality, they just keep releasing new models with slightly different names. Epic Air, JBuds Air, Go Air Pop. All minor tweaks to distract from the same old flaws. They're the fast food of the headphone world. Cheap, tempting, but never satisfying for long. Verdict? Skip it. JLab sounds good on paper, but in real life, it's a gamble that ends in frustration. Save yourself the hassle and your ears the disappointment. And speaking of brands that sell on image more than performance, the next one might surprise you. It's the name that made headphones a fashion statement, the one you still see hanging around celebrity necks. But behind the hype lies a cold truth. Number 4, Beats by Dre, the celebrity status headphones. Let's be honest, at some point, we've all wanted a pair of Beats. That bold B logo, the sleek, shiny finish, the kind of design that makes you feel like you're walking into a music video just by putting them on. When Beats by Dre first dropped, they were everywhere. NBA players, rappers, college athletes, influencers, everyone had them. They weren't just headphones. They were a fashion statement. Owning a pair said, yeah, I care about sound, but I also care about style. And for a while, that illusion worked. But then I bought one. Back in college, I saved up for a pair of Beats Studio 3 wireless. They looked amazing in matte black, the noise canceling felt like a luxury, and for the first week, I couldn't stop telling everyone how insane the bass was. But after a month, the honeymoon ended. The sound started to feel off, like the bass was swallowing everything else. Vocals felt buried, and after long study sessions, I'd have an actual headache from how boomy they were. I remember my roommate, a music major, tried them once and said, "Dude, these sound like the concert's happening underwater." He wasn't wrong. And that's the thing about Beats. They're built to impress you instantly, not to sound natural or accurate over time. They use heavy bass tuning because it makes an instant impact, especially in a store demo. But for real music lovers or podcast listeners, it gets tiring fast. Then there's the build quality. They look premium, but the materials tell another story. The faux leather ear cushions start peeling within a year. The headband flexes awkwardly, and the hinges, notorious weak points, can snap if you drop them just once. After Apple bought Beats, the integration with iPhones improved. Sure, but the sound tuning barely did. You're paying for brand prestige, not balanced performance. I'll never forget walking into the Apple store to ask about repairs, only to be told, it's more cost-effective to buy a new pair. That's when it hit me. Beats isn't about music anymore. It's about marketing. So while they might still turn heads, they won't satisfy your ears. Verdict: overpriced and underwhelming. If you're buying Beats in 2025, you're not buying sound, you're buying a symbol. And that symbol fades fast once the music stops. Now, if you think paying for the logo is bad, wait until you meet our next contender, a brand that hides behind impressive specs and budget-friendly promises, yet fails to deliver where it matters most: real, everyday performance. Number 3. Soundcore by Anker, the overrated budget king. You know those brands that every budget tech YouTuber keeps recommending? The ones that promise flagship features for half the price and somehow make you believe you've hacked the system? That's Soundcore by Anker, the self-proclaimed hero of affordable wireless audio. And to be fair, they look impressive. They come in sleek matte finishes, have fancy model names like Liberty 4NC or Space A40, and flaunt specs that sound like premium gear: adaptive noise cancellation, high-res audio, Bluetooth 5.3, all for under $100. It's easy to see why people buy in. But here's the problem. On paper, Soundcore feels like a steal. In reality, it's the classic case of jack of all trades, master of none. I learned that firsthand. Last year, I bought the Soundcore Life Q35s after seeing dozens of glowing YouTube reviews. They looked great out of the box. Plush ear cushions, responsive touch controls, decent ANC. I even bragged to a coworker saying, "These are like Bose, but cheaper." Yeah, that line didn't age well. Within a few weeks, little issues started piling up. The noise cancellation felt inconsistent, sometimes blocking out chatter at the office, other times letting in everything, like it forgot what active meant. The sound profile had that artificial shine: bright highs, punchy lows, but zero warmth. It's like Soundcore tuned them to impress during a 5-minute demo, not during a 3-hour playlist. And don't even get me started on call quality. Every meeting sounded like I was talking from the inside of a fishbowl. The final straw came during a business trip. I was halfway through a flight when the left ear suddenly cut out. No warning, no damage, just silence. When I got home, I contacted Anker support. They were polite, but their warranty process took over 3 weeks, and the replacement model had the same issue. That's when I realized Soundcore's real strength isn't performance, it's marketing. They've mastered the art of making mid-tier quality look top-tier through influencer partnerships and sleek packaging. But long-term reliability? It's hit or miss. A friend of mine, Jenna, had the same story with her Soundcore Liberty earbuds. They sounded great, she said, until the right one refused to charge. I ended up buying AirPods anyway. And that's the irony. The money you save with Soundcore often ends up going toward replacements later. Verdict: not worth your time if you want consistency. Soundcore talks big, but the experience rarely matches the promise. Avoid the hype and invest in something built to last. We've now crossed through the worst offenders, brands that either overpromise or underdeliver. But from here on out, things start to look up. Because while most wireless headphones disappoint, there are a few that still get it right. The ones that treat sound like an art, not a business gimmick. We've made it through the wasteland. The cheap plastic traps, the influencer gimmicks, the overpriced logos, and the brands that care more about marketing than music. If you've ever felt that mix of regret and rage after buying a pair of headphones that died too soon, trust me, you're not alone. But here's the good news. Not every company is out to trick you. There are still brands that put engineering first, that focus on what matters: sound, comfort, reliability, and genuine innovation. And leading that comeback is a name that's earned respect the hard way, through decades of sound mastery. Number 2, Sony, the noise-canceling powerhouse. Say what you will about Sony, but when it comes to wireless headphones, they understand silence. From subway commutes in New York to long-haul flights out of LAX, you'll spot those sleek Sony cans everywhere, and for good reason. While other brands chase trends, Sony engineers chase perfection. Their WH-1000XM lineup has become the gold standard for active noise cancellation, and not just by blocking sound, but by shaping it. I still remember the first time I tried them, the WH-1000XM4s, right after the holidays. I was sitting in my apartment in Chicago, with traffic roaring outside and neighbors arguing through the walls. Then I put them on, and everything went quiet. Not the eerie, unnatural silence some cheap ANC headphones create. but a peaceful, balanced hush, like the world pressed pause just for me. That moment sold me. And it's not just the noise canceling. Sony nails the details most brands overlook. The sound signature is rich and full, deep bass that doesn't overpower, crisp highs, and vocals that sit perfectly in the mix. It's the kind of tuning that makes any genre sound better, from lo-fi hip-hop to acoustic folk. Comfort? Unreal. You can wear them for hours, during flights, study sessions, or remote work marathons, without that heavy pressure on your head. The battery life consistently hits 30-plus hours, and the fast charge feature gives you 5 hours of playtime from a 10-minute plug-in. Even the app feels like a step above: customizable EQ, adaptive sound control, and that signature Sony polish. One of my coworkers, Amanda, swears by hers. She told me, "I use my XM5s every single day. Calls, editing, Netflix. They've survived drops, rain, even my cat chewing the cable once. Still going strong 2 years later." And that's what separates Sony from the pack. Their products aren't built just to sell. They're built to last. Sure, they're pricey, around $350 retail, but you feel every dollar in quality. You're not buying hype. You're buying years of reliable sound. Verdict, a top-tier choice. Sony delivers performance that's unmatched, comfort that's addictive, and reliability that justifies every cent. And yet, even Sony has a rival. A brand that doesn't shout as loud, doesn't flood social media, but quietly continues to dominate when it comes to pure, timeless sound. This next one isn't just a headphone company, it's an experience. Number 1, Bose, the audiophile's dream come true. There's a certain kind of silence only Bose can create. Not the kind that just blocks out the world, but the kind that transforms it. You put on a pair of Bose headphones, and it feels like the world fades into the background while the music steps forward. Crisp, balanced, and almost alive. Bose doesn't need flashy celebrity endorsements or TikTok hype. They've been building sound systems long before wireless headphones were even a concept. Founded by Dr. Amar Bose, an MIT professor obsessed with acoustic precision, this brand grew on a simple belief: sound should feel as real as life itself, and that belief still echoes in every product they make. Their flagship models, like the Quiet Comfort 45 and noise-canceling headphone 700, aren't just comfortable. They redefine what comfort means. Soft ear cushions, a weight so light it disappears, and a fit that makes long listening sessions, whether you're on a red-eye flight or editing video for hours, feel effortless. But what sets Bose apart isn't just the engineering, it's the emotional experience they create. A close friend of mine, Ethan, travels constantly for work. Flights, trains, endless hotel rooms. A few years ago, I recommended the Bose Quiet Comfort 35s to him after he got fed up with a pair of Beats dying mid-flight. A week later, he called me from an airport lounge. He said, "Man, I didn't think silence could feel this good. I finally get it." That's what Bose does. It doesn't just play music. It restores peace. The sound is warm, natural, and balanced. No overblown bass, no harsh treble. It's the kind of tuning you can listen to for hours without fatigue. Add to that the legendary noise cancellation, refined through decades of acoustic research, and you've got something few brands ever achieve: effortless perfection. Even their earbuds, like the Bose Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2, carry that same DNA: adaptive ANC that responds to your surroundings, touch controls that actually work, and a fit that feels custom-made. Are they expensive? Absolutely. But unlike most luxury tech, Bose earns that price tag. Their products age gracefully, and customer service is still one of the best in the business. You can feel that heritage of trust from the moment you unbox them to the day years later when they still sound like new. Verdict: the best of the best. Bose doesn't chase trends. It creates timeless sound experiences that remind you why you fell in love with music in the first place. So, let's recap. We started at the bottom: the cheap disappointments, the fragile builds, the premium-like brands that crumble under real-world use. From ONN's fragile bargain builds to Beats' marketing over substance, from Skullcandy's short lifespan to JLab's inconsistent quality, these are the headphone brands that make big promises and deliver small results. But in the end, two names rose above the noise: Sony, with its precise balance of innovation and endurance, and Bose, with its unmatched blend of comfort, clarity, and emotional depth. If you want sound that lasts, comfort that feels invisible, and peace that's worth every penny, These two are where your money should go. And before you make that next tech purchase, pause for a second. Ask yourself, are you paying for performance or just for marketing? Because the truth is, behind every flashy brand and sponsored influencer, there's a story, and it's not always one they want you to hear. That's why this channel exists, to expose the tricks, traps, and truths the big brands don't want you to know, so you can spend smarter, save bigger, and actually enjoy what you buy. If this video helped you, hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments which brand you've had a nightmare with. Let's make sure no one else wastes their money on fake premium sound ever again. Because the next time you press play, you deserve to hear the truth.